StreamYard is not making its case for me to keep it. Anyway, so welcome back to the next module. This is going to be part podcast, part live stream, probably not live stream, but part podcast and part online course for the Be Your Own Marketing Department series. And so one thing I wanted to touch on, this is part 2, and there's going to be part 3 and part 4. And that I think that's how I organize them. We're going to talk about how to write to sell. And so we need to do some basic groundwork on that. And so this is going to be in multiple parts. So we're going to use the book that I use to teach myself, in addition to a bunch of other stuff. But we're going to really focus on Drew Eric Whitman, Cashvertising. And so that's the book we're going to be focusing on, and really solid concepts to give you the framework that you need to know so that you can use your client avatar to write content that sells. So that's what we're going to be doing on today's recording. So let's get started here. Well, let's not get started. Let's go ahead and roll the intro real quick, and then we're going to get into this whole thing. So this is where we're at. I wanted to actually introduce a book, and this is a little bit of homework for y'all. Y'all need to either buy this book off of Amazon, get in on Audible, do both, which is what I normally do. But I'm going to really recommend a book here, so that, because the concepts I'm going to discuss is just one section out of this book, but there's so much valuable content in there. And it really teaches you a lot about the psychology of writing persuasive ad copy. When I say ad copy, those are words that sell. And they're words that not just sell products, but they sell ideas, concepts, sell you and your credibility in the space. And so I'm giving you guys this homework assignment. I want you to download or buy Cashvertising and put it into your brain. It's called Cashvertising by Drew Eric Whitman. I did a YouTube video about this a long time ago, and so I will be linking that to the main page so you can see it. And there's a lot of information in there. The thing I want to focus on is the basic framework of everything that's going to inform the rest of this course. And the basic framework is what he determines a life force 8. These are the core human drives to sell and market stuff. And so we're going to get into it, and that's what the bulk of this live stream is going to be. We're going to be discussing what those core human drives are so that you can write persuasive ads. So by the end of this, I want you to understand the psychological principles behind some of the effective marketing that you see. Hopefully you guys start making some of the connections as I talk. You start thinking of different commercials and things like that play into it. And so we're going to have a little bit of fun with this one, but it's really important information. And I strongly suggest that you go out and cop this book, because it's the one that laid the groundwork for everything else. This, Dan Kennedy's Ultimate Sales Letter, and a couple of other books have really informed my journey. And I strongly advise that you read them. It's really, and I do need to get a definition out there. It's really important for a copywriter. So when I say a copywriter isn't somebody that handles copyright law, it can be. I am a copywriter. That's where I started out. Copywriting is basically writing ads for people, writing things that sell, writing sales letters, landing pages. Nowadays, more social media stuff, but that's what I'm selling is copywriting. And so and that's what the name I Sell Words comes from, is I wanted to be a copywriter starting out. And it just crossed over so many more areas of marketing that I decided, let's lean into some of the other areas too and learn those as well. So as a copywriter, and that's what you are, you got to put on the hat. If you're going to be your own marketer, you have to be your own copywriter. You have to learn how to write copy that sells. Get this book. Don't wait. So we're going to go into the 8 core drives that drive purchasing decisions. By the end of this, hopefully you'll understand what the Life Force 8 is. You're going to need to reference this video a couple of different times, because it's almost impossible to get it all on one read. And you're going to start seeing commercials the way that marketers see commercials. Understand this. When I talk about marketing as the entire discipline of finding a market, advertising is a specific discipline within marketing. So they're interchangeable, but they're not interchangeable, if that makes sense. Got it? Got it. All right. So I want you to recognize how these drives influence advertising strategies. And I want you to start looking on television, seeing where you're seeing these ads and seeing what Life Force 8 is represented in the different ads that you watch. So, and the case studies are just going to be the ads that I can think of off the top of my head, but this is where you develop your own case studies for each Life Force 8 component. All right. So we're going to condense the nonsense and jump into the factual information. Core drive number 1 is life or survival and life extension. So these are products that allow you to survive as a human being. Think about people who have chronic illnesses or ailments or whatnot, or if it's not a chronic thing, it's something that can end your life and you have to take medicine or something to address that or seek some kind of treatment to help you out with that. But also think emergency weight loss and things along those lines. These are products. So these are going to be things that target the basic human drive to survive and to live a long and healthy life. And so you're going to see this in pharmaceutical marketing, but you can also see it in weight loss. And some of these, the addendum that I should have put at the beginning is some of these things do crossover. Some of these Life Force 8s do bleed into each other. And it's really a matter of perspective on how you see them. So first one, like I said, is survival life extension. You're going to see these most prominently in advertisements for medication or medical services, anything that aligns with that, where it's like we're extending your life or improving the quality of your life. We are making sure that your health is top notch so that you can live a long and prosperous life. These are the things that are there. And so think of what in the commercials, the imagery in some of these commercials, where if it's something that'll keep you bedridden, if you take the medicine, you'll be able to get up and function. You're going to see images of people walking outdoors and going outside and meeting with friends and doing fun stuff, things that living people can do when they aren't incapacitated by illness. And so those are the imagery you're going to see in those commercials. There's an intent behind the way that they film those, because they want to show you people enjoying life. So that's what that drive tickles. And so start writing it down. And maybe that's the assignment. Write down these commercials as you see commercials and you're watching regular TV. And I'm telling you to watch the commercials, because you don't learn how to be a marketer if you skip all the commercials. Sorry. You need to see what is at play in some of these commercials. So like I said, this is going to be healthcare pharmaceutical marketing. Drive 2 is going to be enjoyment of food and beverages. Now this sounds pretty straightforward, and it is. This is food ads where they're showing you the burger in the fast food restaurant. They're showing it sizzling over a fire and, oh, how good it looks. And they spend a lot to get food designers to come in there and sometimes make fake food that looks real, but they want to show you the texture and how juicy it is and all that other stuff. Or how somebody coming in from a long day, they're hot, they grab the refreshment, they drink it, and it refreshes them and cools them off. So enjoyment of food and beverages is another one. But you're also going to see some crossover with dental appliances. A lot of denture stuff. When I was growing up, it was the fix it and forget it kind of stuff, where you don't want your dentures coming off while you're trying to eat, do you? That can impede your enjoyment of food and beverages. But also stuff like Sensodyne toothpaste, because their big hook is it takes the sensitivity out of teeth so you can enjoy hot and cold foods without pain. So there's a couple of areas where it does cross over. But yeah, it's going to be more aligned with any consumption of food or beverage. And they're going to play with the imagery to make it tantalizing and appealing to you so that you want to eat it. They're not going to show you what your fast food really looks like when you get in the box and the bag's been dropped and the cheese is on, the cheese on your burger is stuck to the top side of the container it's in. And they just slathered a bunch of all the toppings on there. So it's a big, huge mess. They're going to show you how it looks, and it's going to look like appealing. Like when you pick the cheese up on the commercial where they grab the piece of pizza and it has the cheese stringing off of it. It never happens in real life. It never looks like that in real life, but they're going to show it to you in that commercial. So, but yeah, that's what it is. And so they're going to appeal to your sensory and your practical needs. So not only the visual piece of it, but do you have sensitive teeth? Use the Sensodyne so your teeth aren't so sensitive. But food, beverage, alcohol, things along those lines, that's what's going to fall under core drive number 2. Number 3 is freedom from fear, pain, and danger. Now, this is where this gets interesting, and it can be a little bit insidious. When I'm recording this right now, we're in the midst of election season, and most of these political ads fall into core drive number 3. But it also, you're going to see it in insurance. Sometimes you even see it in car manufacturers when they show the car crashing into the wall with the dummies. They want to show that the car, you'll survive the car crash or walk away from the car crash. But specifically with political ads, look how they're framing different aspects of it, specifically what they're talking about. The imagery always follows along the lines of what the politician is saying. The backdrop that they use always speaks to who they feel like their core audience is. So just pay attention to it and start dissecting the ads and realize that it is playing with somebody's emotions. And the idea is, the piece is, I want you to be scared so you vote for me. But and to me, that's the icky one, because to me, that feels unethical. But everybody's going to have their own things. And if you have a product that is about keeping people safe, then you need to show this is what my product prevents. And this is how my product keeps you safe. So it is what it is. But watch insurance ads specifically. The one where it's the dude that is the trouble and he's always going around destroying things, and you need to get the insurance to keep him from ruining your day or ruining your life. The mayhem. I'm mayhem, and this is what I do. And it's always about him ruining somebody's day or life or house or car or whatever. That's what this ad plays into. You need the insurance so that when mayhem comes, you're at least protected against it. The same thing with the goose, the Affleck goose and things like that. It shows you images of things going wrong and how this specific insurance will help offset that thing that's gone wrong. So, but yeah, and again, the homework assignment is to watch these ads and see what I'm talking about. Let's try to center myself a little bit. And it is an ethical question. There's no easy answer. Is it ethical to use fear-based marketing? Sorry, I have a fly in my office and he wants to be in my face today. Is it ethical? So there's a balance between emotional appeal. How does that play out? How does that feel to you? And these are internal questions, and you're going to have to decide them as a marketer, how you want to apply it. But I'm just here to give you the tools. All right. 4 is sexual companionship. And this goes a lot of different places, goes a lot of different areas. So just follow me on this one. These are going to be targeting the biological drive for romance and companionship. And so this falls under fitness stuff. It falls under dating stuff, falls under luxury brands, having the name brand makeup or the name brand cologne or the dress, the stunning dress that's going to turn heads, or the car that's going to turn heads. Dating ads fall into this. The stuff that they sell for guys that are a little bit older. This fly is in my face. The stuff that they sell, I think I got him. The stuff that they sell for older guys to get them back into the swing of life. We know what they're talking about. We know what they're hinting at. Their wives are more attracted to them and want them and stuff. That falls into the sexual companionship stuff too. But some social media sites do play around with that too. Anything where you are trying to attract somebody into your world or keep them and keep the relationship going falls under these ads. And so the diamond commercials that you see around holiday time, buy her a diamond, buy her flowers. And I don't want to buy her or him flowers. The one that was amazing is buy him a Lexus. He'll appreciate that. Just a $70,000 car with just go out and buy it for him, ladies. Give him a car note. Give him another car note. He'll unwrap it for Christmas and he'll be thrilled that you bought him or her a car as a gift without really consulting them and sign them up for a 48-month lease. But yeah, that's what that falls into. And so, and the fashion industry, the fitness industry, how they use attractiveness to sell products. That's really what it is. There's a degree of attractiveness that goes into the people on the television ads. And a lot of times they don't always look like real people. And even if they're bigger people or what they would consider not conventionally attractive, which I think is BS, but even then they still are prettier than your average person. So it is what it is. But yeah, dating stuff and some of the psychology behind it matching up. Of course, the dating apps, Tinders and all that stuff are going to fall under there. But that's a very strong drive that you can play with. Like I said, it does go into the fitness piece of it. You want to have the six pack. The six pack, the way that they market the six pack is for other people, not for you under this drive. And so you're going to find different derivations of that. And so that's what that is. And like I said, it's a powerful drive. So drive 5 is comfortable living conditions. Now, these are going to be furniture, furnishings, renovate your kitchen, get a new fence, get a new patio in the backyard. We'll help you find the house of your dreams. These apartments are wonderful. Great retirement community to move into. All those ads that are adjacent to that fall under the comfortable living conditions, but also cars, home appliances, anything that improves your quality of life falls under this. So luxury brands do fall under this one as well. Like there's some crossover between these. And we're going to talk about improvement stuff. When they show new developments on television, that's this drive. They show the new houses being built off by the golf course. And you see the golf course out there looking all pretty and maybe it's waterfront property. So there's a lake and all the other stuff. It's showing you a vision of a life that you want to have. Here's the thing that plays into it. So another core drive, like I said, the comfortable living conditions. When you go to a car lot and you're looking at cars, they want to get you into the car and they want you to test drive it. And sometimes they want you to take it home. You want to know why? They're trying to get you to live. They're trying to get you to experience what it's like to have your paradigm shifted by having a new car going throughout your daily activities. Oh, the ride on this car is so smooth. It smells so amazing. It has all these little bells and whistles I never thought of. And you start to integrate it into your life before you've actually made the purchase. So that when you make the purchase, you have to go against your mind already being programmed to having the car in your life. And now you have to separate from it if you don't buy it. That's why they try to get you into the car and get you to take it home so that you get a relationship with the car. It's the same thing. If somebody says, here's a puppy. You're looking for a dog. Here's a puppy. Take the puppy home with you and see what it's like to have a puppy in your house and see if you enjoy having the puppy around. Now, a puppy might go off and poop or pee in the corner. Well, you're not going to worry about that as much as this cuddly little thing that's licking you and all this other stuff. You're not going to want to get the puppy back in most cases. So it's the same concept with the car. So whereas the puppy might cost you a couple of $1,000s, the car might be a couple, tens of thousands of dollars, but it's the same process. And so they just want you to integrate the car into your life before you purchase it. That way the purchase is a little bit easier for them to do. That's why they always want you to test drive it. And the reality is even the test drive isn't enough. They want you to sit down and experience it and drive it home. So anyway, so how do you see this luxury? And I think maybe the thought experiment is, how do you see them using luxury brands to push this drive with the comfortable living conditions? Because a lot of times you'll find that when you're seeing luxury brands, they may not be selling on quality. They're selling how this texture feels against your skin. How these car seats absorb you and you feel great in there. Ooh, they're heated too. That's nice. So those are the kind of things that's the kind of things that ads are tapping into. Driving, welcome home, driving home. You're driving home. The kids are on the front step. Everybody's there to greet you. Nobody wants food. Nobody asked if you stopped and got dinner. Like that life. And so when they show you these commercials, it's a slice of life that's idealized. Drive number 6 is superiority, keeping up with the Joneses and winning. Guess what? Luxury brands fall under this one too. Because for some people, you're not buying that car for you. You're buying that car for your neighbor across the street to show them that you can have that car. And the level of competition that's in there. So this is desire for social status and superiority. And depending on where you fall in terms of money in your bank account, this looks different. So sometimes it's the luxury vacation. Sometimes it's just having a nicer pair of shoes than the person standing next to you. It is what it is. And so this is the desire for more status in society in your friend group. So luxury brands, fitness programs, self-help courses, improve your life. This is how to be a better marketer so that you can beat other people at marketing, so you can win in business. That's really what this is about. Sorry if my chair is a little bit noisy. And this fly really wants to be my co-host. And he's really flying in my face. And so like self-help courses can even fall under this drive. People buy it so that they can advance their life and be in a better place than when they are. And they can beat the people in front of them. And so also how they create exclusivity, handcrafted, rare. Some people buy things just based on the fact that not everybody has it. Collectors do this all the time. They collect things that are rare. And sometimes it's just for the fact to say, I have this thing that I've collected that not everybody has access to. But other people do it with accent pieces of furniture and stuff in their houses where, yeah, this is a rare piece. I had it custom made. The suit is custom. I had my tailor design this shirt. So stuff that's custom, one of a kind, unique. It can be under comfortable living, but it also can be, I have this, I can afford this, and you can't. Or I have this thing and it's so rare, there's only a few of them, and I possess one of them and you don't. But it's also keeping up with the Joneses. They're the invisible competition of a striving middle class. It is what it is, y'all. It's a byproduct of the system we live in. So, but yeah, it's desired. And sports programs, youth sports programs are built upon this. I know personally, youth sports programs are built upon, competing and winning. And some people are so enamored with the idea of winning trophies that they lose perspective on the fact that trophy that they're all fighting and scrapping hard for and heckling children about in the crowd, they're doing all that for a $17 trophy. It's the value of winning, not the value of the trophy, but people end up losing perspective on that stuff. So anything that falls along those lines of being better than somebody else, that falls under drive number 6, the winning superiority, keeping up with the Joneses. It's the invisible competition that a lot of us are in. All right. Care and protection of loved ones is the next one. And this is where they do crossover. So a lot of political ads will invoke, you want to protect your kids. And this is we're protecting the future and all this other stuff. That falls in line with that too. But these are products like life insurance, baby products, appeal to the desire to protect your family. And so a lot of times the imagery in these commercials and ads are of babies, because nothing is more helpless than a baby. And so you have a drive to want to protect them. And so by showing babies, you're like, okay, I trust this product with my kids, my babies. And so I want that product to protect my babies. I want this life insurance to give them something if something happens to me so they don't have to worry. I have health insurance in case something happens to me so that family isn't burdened with my sickness and nobody has to come out of pocket for stuff. More or less. We know how insurance works. But These things, that's what this drive is about. But even car commercials, again, when they crash the car in there and show the crash test dummies and they show the crash test dummy in the car seat, this car will keep you and your kids safe in case somebody runs that red light and crashes into you. That's what this drive is about. And financial products and services for long-term stuff. So protecting your nest egg, retirement, but this also, that the protecting your nest egg and retirement also falls into living a comfortable life, which is comfortable living conditions, drive number 5. So these do cross over, is what I'm saying. But yeah. And then number 8, and I feel like I've rampaged through this, but number 8 is going to be social approval. These are going to be social media based, likes, shares, validation, gaming, like the gaming industry capitalizes on this. The social approval, that's how they get people to, that's how they get your kids to get Roblox money and V-Bucks and all that other stuff, because you can buy exclusive skins and impress the other people on there for more approval. But that also goes into keeping up with the Joneses too. Yeah. So, but the social validation that influences consumer behavior, having the right clothes, sometimes fitness falls into this. If you feel like your weight has made you a pariah or an outcast, well, losing that weight and looking like everybody else or being the ideal is going to drive your decision making, because you want that social approval. Depending on what your social circle is, buying the right clothes, wearing the right things, having the right accent pieces with your clothing. These things fall under the lines of the social approval core drive. And it's a powerful one, and it is creepy and it can be insidious, but we do a lot of stuff for public approval, whether we agree to or not. So these are anything that's going to raise your status in the eyes of your peers or people you respect, or sometimes people you don't know. But yeah, like I said, the gaming industry capitalizes on this need to be recognized, this need for recognition. Online gaming specifically, I'm the top 500 whatever player in the world of this. I'm in the top 500 of the world. That is a social thing. And you can build, I've seen gamers build entire careers off of being very good at a specific game, to the point where they're top 10 players in the world, and they can build a career off of that, because it gives them a certain status within that community. It gives them a specific cachet when they interact with other people that have that as a hobby. So, but social media is a big one. People pay to boost posts so they can increase their visibility on social media. And sometimes they do it it's not with a business thing. They don't necessarily have a product, but they're boosting the post so that they can get more eyeballs on the stuff they created, so they can get more likes. And sometimes those likes, they do monetize. You can, Facebook is testing out that partner program where they actually pay you for content. And so that balances out. But a lot of times it's just for the likes. People are doing all kinds of clout chasing behaviors. Anytime you see some kick streamer doing something horrible or offensive, it's for that clout. They're chasing the likes so that they can have that little fame, a pocket full of fame, basically with your cell phone. Cell phone's in your pocket. That's the thing that creates your fame. And so it is a social approval kind of thing, but also can be for personal branding. If you have a product or service or specific knowledge, you can brand yourself and gain that social approval by sharing information. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm giving away what I know and what I've used to be successful. And hopefully you guys like it and it improves your lives and everything. And that increases my status in your opinion and in your eyes. So those are the 8 core drives. We'll recap them real quick and then we'll move on. So we'll jump back to the beginning. Drive 1, survival, life extension. These are insurance. Basically think insurance, ads. 2 is going to be enjoyment of food and beverages, fast food, higher end restaurants, supermarkets, things along those lines. That's enjoyment of food and beverages. 3, freedom from fear, pain, and danger, political ads, insurance ads, any kind of thing that says there's something out there that's going to hurt you. And by voting this way or buying this product, you can reduce your risk. You can mitigate your risk. 4, sexual companionship, anything that's used to attract other people to you. And it could even be just companionship, not even sexual, just companionship that need to connect to other people. And that's going to be more aesthetics, more images, dating sites, things that are going to improve your attractiveness to other people. And when we say attractiveness, it's not just romantic attractiveness. There's a reason why you get up and brush your teeth in the morning, so your breath doesn't smell, and so that you can talk to other people without them looking at you crazy. 5 is comfortable living conditions. These are going to be your luxury goods, but also realtors, builders, appliances, cars, all these things that make your life comfortable. HVAC is one, heating and air, plumbing. A lot of these things go and create a comfortable living environment. Hotels, Airbnb, Vrbo, all of these things fall under that scope. All right. Superiority, winning, keeping up with the Joneses. These are going to be sports teams, but it's also luxury goods. The arms race to have exclusive stuff in your house or have exclusive destination vacations. Destination weddings are another one that fall into the superiority, winning, keeping up with the Joneses. Instagram is literally built on superiority, winning, and keeping up with the Joneses. People will bankrupt themselves to go and take a picture of themselves in front of this location that everybody can't access with their money. So that's where that falls into. Anything where I need to be better than you and I need to throw it in your face, that falls under that. Drive 7, care and protection of loved ones, insurance is a big one, but baby products, cars, if you buy the minivan because it has a good impact rating, a good crash rating, stuff like that, anything that protects other people that you care about, but also anything financial products that protect your money, that falls under to that care and protection of loved ones, because you're trying to establish something for other people in case something happens to you and you can no longer provide care for them. Think retirement communities as well, and nursing homes. And the social approval is number 8. So this is going to be anything that generates likes, but also gaming. The gaming industry does a lot with the social approval stuff, where you spend real money to buy digital money to buy fake clothes for people that don't exist. Just because the people in your group think it's cool. So, but yeah, the video game industry is really tied to this, but also people that are doing digital marketing or establishing a personal brand. If you're trying to grow a comedy channel or something along those lines, this falls under the social approval, the likes, people going viral for the likes. And so YouTube is built upon people liking what you post and the endorphins that are released from that. It's a very powerful drive and people underestimate it, but a lot of people do stuff for social approval and they're not completely aware of it. So those are the core drives. And when you get the book, because I'm expecting y'all to get the book, when you get the book, there's a bunch of other stuff in there. And there's other drives that aren't necessarily core, but they're tied to some of the major drives. So they're not major motivators, but they are motivators. So I can do a follow-up one on the smaller drives. I think that's what I'll do. I'll do a follow-up one on the smaller drives, but it's not going to be the next recording. I got a couple of other things I need to teach y'all how to write headlines and things along those lines. And so that's the path we're going to go down. And then we're going to circle back to the smaller drives, because as we get into the details of writing headlines and descriptions and all that other stuff, that's where this stuff's going to come into play. And there's specific frameworks that you use to design ads to get people wanting more. Okay. So the idea of this is, and the general idea is, you're tapping in to basic human desires, like fundamental ones that we all want. intrinsically in one way or another. And it's going to be varying degrees. Not everybody wants the same thing. For some people, that one thing may matter way more than the other one, but it's tapping into something that is core and common across humans. And it teaches you how to write better headlines. It teaches you how to leverage your social proof and show, hey, other people are invested in what I say, so you should listen to me too. And we talk about the idea of identifying urgency. These are all things within this book. And that's why I'm saying you guys need to really sit down and go through it. And using the psychological triggers, curiosity, reciprocity, I want to get back on because I was talking about car dealerships a little bit earlier. The concept of reciprocity says, so when you go into the car lot and you're sitting down and they pull out that little 4-square piece of paper and start putting their BS numbers on it that they play with, and they make sure that their money is going to be secured. But one of the things that they do is they offer you something to drink. Offer you a bottle of water, soda, pop, however you want to call it, wherever you live. They offer you something to drink. The idea is by offering me this low-cost beverage, this thing doesn't really cost the dealership anything. I'm going to reciprocate by taking on a 36-month loan that's going to total somewhere in 5 figures. And it works. That's why they give you a bottle of water when you walk into a dealership. They're thinking that by giving that, they're priming you to reciprocate by buying a vehicle from them. Yeah, that's what that is. So that's that law of reciprocity. And it's not proportional to what you're getting. So by buying this, by taking this bottle of water that didn't cost them really anything, you're going to reciprocate by buying a $30,000 car from them. And it's proven to work. So that's that law of reciprocity. You give a little bit, you get a lot back. And also consistency. So people go to McDonald's because they have an expectation for McDonald's food. And so they know what McDonald's is supposed to taste like. They've acclimated themselves to that taste. And so when they go, they know that they're getting a meal that tastes similar to what other meals that they've had. If they went one time and the meal was vastly different, there would be a problem. And so when they're ordering the McDonald's fries, they know the McDonald's fries taste and consistency and how they want them to taste. And they're going to go for that every single time. And the moment you switch it up on them and offer something that's lower quality, they're going to have complaints. That's why when people get cold fries, we saw it yesterday when a lady in the restaurant got cold fries. She went to the counter and asked for hot ones because those didn't match what she was expecting from McDonald's fries to be. So the consistency piece is important. Car manufacturers struggle with this a lot because they're mass producing these cars and it's hard to have a consistent experience in it. And so manufacturer defaults come out and one car may run perfectly for 100,000 miles. And then the car that came out right after it may start having issues at 12,000 miles. You never know. But the consistency is what people like. And if you have the consistent experience, then that builds their repeat customers. Okay. So we've talked about that piece of it, and I'm going to leave you with that because this is a lot. And there's a lot that goes into copywriting, but understanding those basic drivers is going to give you a framework for how to think about interacting with your clients. Your homework assignment. The homework assignment is I want you to watch television. Don't skip the commercials. Don't skip the ads, or even on social media. Don't skip the ads. Watch the ads and start listing what core drive they fall under. And I want you to watch until you have at least 2 examples in each one of the core drives. So that's the homework assignment for this module. And we can discuss it underneath in the comment section. So that's what we got today. Thank you for tuning in to this module. And like I said, get to watching those commercials because you have to think like a marketer to be a marketer. And advertising is one of the primary tools of the ad marketer. So you have to watch ads, at least to get a sense of what they look like. Once you do that, you can move on. So anyway, that's what I got. I will talk to y'all later. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next module. Peace.
my God.